Donald Trump is trying to kill the post office. It may even have something to do with the November election. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Attempted murder of your post office. This is the outrage. This piece over at commondreams.org. Postal workers and their allies in Congress. We just had a call from a postal worker who said he's also the union steward. And they are absolutely raising hell. They're calling their senators. They're calling their members of the House. The Congress, the House of Representatives, Democrats in the House have already appropriated money to keep the post office going. But this Louis DeJoy, this new Postmaster General that Trump put into place just a few months ago, or last month, he just issued a whole series of memos. I tweeted this stuff out yesterday afternoon. If you want to see the actual, some of the actual content of some of these memos and things, you can just check out my Twitter feed. But he's issued these memos announcing, quote, major operational changes to the USPS. And the Washington Post says this, quote, could slow down mail delivery, and that they're warning agencies, employees, that the Postal Service would not survive unless it makes difficult changes to cut costs. Now, you and I both know that a large part of the so-called crisis in the post office is the result of in 2005, or perhaps it was 2006, back in the day, the post office was incredibly profitable. Now, the post office does not use government money. There's no federal money being used in the post office. The closest you can get to that is that the infrastructure of the post office, the buildings and things, are owned by the federal government. But everything else, the gas that they use, the vehicles they drive, the paraphernalia and uniforms and the stuff that the postal carriers use, the bag full of mail over their shoulder, all that stuff is paid for with your postage stamps. The cost, the operating costs, the ongoing, everything. The post office has been running independently since, I believe, since the Reagan era. And, somebody correct me on this because I'm not certain exactly when all this started, but I'm pretty sure it was in my lifetime. But in any case, the post office came out and said, we are the largest vehicle fleet in the United States. And we are showing a good profit. We're selling a lot of stamps. We're making money. And we're going to take that profit. We're going to take a few $1 billion, and we're going to buy new vehicles that are clean, that are energy efficient. They were going to put the little cars that they drive around in, the little postal vehicles that they come and deliver mail door to door with, or house to, the postal delivery, whatever they call those things that you have in neighborhoods where there's 10 mailboxes. Those were all going to be electric. And the trucks that they drive, the big trucks, they were going to be hydrogen powered. And in fact, they rolled out an electric truck and a hydrogen powered, an electric car and a hydrogen powered truck at this big press conference that they had in Washington, D.C., saying, here's what we're going to do. Isn't this cool? We're going to do our part to solve the problem of climate change. And immediately, the fossil fuel billionaires said, oh, no, you don't. What, you're going to change this country so that, suddenly we're going to stop using fossil fuels? Don't think so. Ain't going to happen. Not on my watch. And so Congress passed this law, and I believe it was in 2006 the law was passed, that said that for the next 10 years, the post office had to set aside $5 billion every single year to pay for the health benefits. So this is all assuming that there will never be Medicare for all. To pay for the health benefits of retirees 75 years from now. To pay for the health benefits of people who are going to retire 75 years from now who are not yet born. And for 10 years, based on this legislation pushed by George W. Bush, the oil executive, Dick Cheney, the oil executive, and the Republicans in Congress over the loud objections of Democrats, for 10 years, we sucked $5 billion a year out of the post office. This is classic starve the beast. Reagan's whole starve the beast strategy was cut back the funding to an agency until that agency is no longer able to do their job properly. Then you point at them and say, they can't do their job properly. We need to sell that off to some billionaire. Let's sell the post office off to FedEx. They're not even unionized. That'll be the best customer or the best purchaser possible.